client server interactions with the stream socket connection, where this method will set up with the server to receive a connection and the process from at a time. And also it displays a message which uses the event dispatch thread, which displays the message in the application JText area. So it displays the whatever the message we given as an input. So it displays in the area called the text area. And swing utility methods and invoke later receive which receives a runnable object as an argument or and places it into an event dispatch thread for the execution. So we ensure that we don't modify a GUI component from a thread other than the event dispatch thread. So here we use a simple technique called method called test set text field editable. And also the socket method called jetlen method address returns an inet address which contains the information about the client computer. Inet address method get hostname which returns the hostname of the client computer, and it also useful for testing networking applications on your local computer, which is known as the loopback address. And uh, the main point is that the object output method called as a flush, so it recalls the node. So here the object output stream on the server will send the stream header to the any corresponding clients, and it contains such information as the versions of the object and also used to send the objects, and it's required by the object input stream so it can prepare to receive those objects correctly. For example, if you want to execute the client from any computer on the internet and specify the IP address or any host name of the computer, as we use our command line argument to the program. So it attempts a connection to the server and also the on the computer with an any IP with its IP address. For example, Java client 1922, as we seen 192.168.1.15. This is an IP addresses of some any particular client, particular system server. So as it uses the host names of the server computer. So here we can see the JText field which is used to enter the information from the user. Area display which is used to display the information to user. So we enter the information from the user and also we display the information to the user. For example, I give 1 plus 1 as my information. So it gives 2 as its information. So as I give the information will be entered in the JText field enter field, as the whatever the result should be on the screen should be displayed by the display area. At the same time, we give the output stream to the server and also the input stream to the server. So here the server and the client. So waiting for the connection, we're attempting the connection. So when the inet address static method get returns an inet address which contains a specified IP address. So method get by name can receive a string which contains either the actual IP address or the host name of the server. The main argument should be like written other ways. When for the local host address like something like 127.00.1, which will be the first argument could be specified with either of the following expressions: get by name localhost or inet and address dot get localhost, two names. But the connectionless transmission with data programs. Um, when the connection oriented transmission is like the telephone or a system, when you dial or given a connection to the telephone of the person with whom you wish to communicate, So it should be like you need to be connected and they need to be connected. Then you have a connection between two telephones. So it should be maintained for your phone call, and even you're not like, if you're not talking also, if you're not on the call also, your phone should be connected. At the same time their phone should be connected. And connectionless transmission is more like the way mail is carried via the postal services. So if a large message will not fit into the envelope, so for example, if you wrote something like a big letter on the paper, it doesn't fit into the envelope. We break into the pieces. So all our letters then are mailed at once. So the letters could arrive in order, out of order, or not at all. And we use a class server declares two datagram packets, which are used to send and receive information, and one datagram socket which sends and receives the packets. And also it constructs that and also the datagram socket constructor, it takes an integer port number argument which binds a server to a port. And also it can receive a packets from clients, where client sends the packets to the server which specifies the same port number in the packet when they send. And it's is thrown if the datagram socket the constructor fails to bind the datagram socket to the specified port. Here the server side of the connectionless client server computing with the datagrams. So here we set the size and set visible. So it sets the size of the window and shows the window. When we give the display area, everything will be written. Here we give the receive packet address, everything. Datagram socket method, which receives the wait for the packet which is to arrive at the server. It stores in the datagram packet argument. And also it throws an input exception if an error occurs while receiving a packet, or it gets written to the inet address when the object contains the IP address of the computer from the packet was already sent. Or else the method get length. We do have three type of returns and the get address returns. One is get port, get length, get data, get address. So here the method getPort, which specify the port number through which the client computer send the packet, and the getLength, which represents the number of bytes of a data received. GetData, which array which contains the data. It's a byte array containing data. Where datagram socket method uses to send throws an input exception if only the error occurs in sending a packet. As we can see in the entering messages and displacing messages and socket to connection to server. We use a tic-tac-toe implementation method uh, by using a client and server techniques. As the tic-tac-toe service receives each and every connection in the client, so it creates an instance in a class player to process the client in a separate threads, and also play the game independently. So the first client will be the player X, will be the server, and the second player will be O. So when the player X makes the first move, it maintains the information about the board, so it can determine if the player's move is valid or not. So we set up like, as we given the tic tac toe boards and output moves and connection with the clients, and a constant for the first player, a constant for the second player, array of marks,